Hello there. So I guess I'm just about just over 2 years now since I first had tinnitus, and wow, has it been a journey? I went from 5 days of no sleep to months of very little sleep, anxiety every day, not being able to get my mind on anything else. You know, I had some other problems too, so it was really rough. Um, I likely had an enlarged heart from COVID, so I had sensations in my chest and tinnitus at the same time. And like my mind was just always anxious. I couldn't think of anything else. And it's been a gradual process. But I mean, I remember just crying out at night and just hoping there'd be some way I could find a way, you know. And I'm better now. But it took a long time, and I feel like one of the turning points was, well, I remember talking to somebody else who had tinnitus, and I remember watching some videos also from people who had tinnitus, and I remember one lady said, if tinnitus were to go away today, my life wouldn't change that much. And I was like, how is that even possible? But now I see what she meant. I see what she meant because I, like her, many months later, really over a year later, got to the point where I don't think about it very much. I would say in year 2, the second year, I still heard it a lot. I still worried about it, pretty often. But I got a lot more confidence, and I was like, I'm doing a lot of things in life again. I'm okay. And but even that was a gradual process. I remember going to a karaoke a couple of times, and then afterwards having a louder ring in my ears, and just really worried that it could get worse and stuff. Fortunately, it has not, and I do avoid, loud situations like that. But it's 2 years later, and I'm just kind of, thinking back about this long journey, and how now, I mean, I've got the air purifier on. I've talked about that one many times, and I've got the tinnitus, but it's like a background noise now. It was definitely not a background noise before. It's just as loud, but just the way my mind pays attention to it is completely different. And I hope that some of the videos that I made as I started working on myself and learning not to be afraid of it, and learning to get my mind on something else. There's a little spike now. It got a little louder for a second, the tinnitus. And like, I drew pictures, and I read books, and I tried to do all kinds of different things to try to get my mind on something else besides this sound. And now it's a background sound. So it's so good that it's like I've got the tinnitus, yeah, but I'm like normal. I'm great. I'm doing awesome. There's nothing. I mean, I have bad days like everybody else, but it's like the tinnitus is just like a non-issue. It's totally not a problem at all. And how amazing is that? Going from not being able to sleep, anxious all day. So, you might look back at some of my older videos. I was starting to get a grip when I started making this channel. And I feel very fortunate now that I got there. So I just kind of feel like it's my duty to give you a few ideas. One, that it's very, 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 very likely you're going to get a lot better if you're having a hard time now. And there's things you can do to make it better. And it's likely your life is not in danger. You'll be fine. And that in itself, knowing that, will help you cope a lot better. Those are some of the ideas, that I bring. I got a comment again the other day about how there's a study, and I don't remember the name, where some people did a treatment, and then something like 75% of the people experienced a lessening in the loudness of tinnitus. I have to say, this channel is not about those studies. If there ever comes to a study that is really, like it's a large enough study, and like nearly everybody who's using the treatment or the medicine is getting a very significant improvement, I'll be all over that. Yeah, and I'll be wanting to tell you about it. For now, I think there are some studies and things where there have been some results, but a lot of times when you ask someone, is your tinnitus, is the loudness less now? Or is it just as loud as it was before after the treatment? A lot of that is very subjective. If I can convince you to be less anxious about your tinnitus, I think, and then you can get on some sort of a plan where you're less anxious about it, then I think you're likely to report that the loudness is less. If I can get you to believe that the treatment that you're receiving will decrease the loudness, and then you receive that treatment, that belief itself can take you a long way in better dealing with the tinnitus. But there may be some actual things that are working really, really well. So I don't want to ever discount that. Just my channel is more about, if you've got it now and you're just stressed or you're just trying to get better, I'm trying to help you deal with it mentally better. So, okay, well, 2 years in, here we go.